In this video, I would like to talk about the financial emergency. We have already seen the national emergency under Article 352, the state emergency under Article 356. Now we are talking about the financial emergency under Article 360. Financial emergency under Article 360. So 360, it says that if the President of India is satisfied that a situation has arisen whereby the financial stability or the credit of India or any part thereof is threatened. So if the financial stability or the credit of India is threatened, of any part of India is threatened, then the President of India may declare a state of financial emergency. If the financial stability or the credit of India, financial stability or the credit of India is threatened, then the President may declare a state of financial emergency. The President may declare a financial emergency. So the President of India can declare a financial emergency if the financial stability or the credit of India is threatened. And during the period of such proclamation, then the executive authority of the union can extend to give directions to the states. What are the effects? Okay, now coming to the effects. Number one, the executive authority of the union. Authority of the union can be extended. The executive authority of the union can be extended to give directions to the states. Extended to give directions to the states. The executive authority of the union can be extended to give direction to the states to observe such canons of financial propriety, to observe such propriety as may be specified in the direction. We want to direct each and every state to follow certain conditions or other certain propriety, certain austerity measures, so that we can see through this problem. So whatever the President may deem necessary, he may ask, he may direct the states to do. So the executive authority of the union may be extended to give direction to the states, and these directions may include, what all directions can be there? It may include, number one, the reduction of salaries and allowances of all the government, of the state service employees. Reduction in salaries and allowances of all state government employees. See, already the center can automatically go for the reduction in the salaries and allowances of the central government employees. This direction to the states may include reduction in salaries and allowances of all or any class of person serving under the state, any person serving under the state. So there can be direction in reduction of salaries and allowances of the state government employees. The center will automatically be doing the reduction salaries of the central government employees. Then also, a second point is the President can insist that the money bills passed by the state assemblies, the money bills passed by the state legislative assemblies can be reserved for the presidential assent, can be reserved. The direction will be given that these money bills will be reserved, can be reserved for the assent of the President of India, can be reserved for the assent of the President of India. So, the money bills can be reserved for the assent of the President of India. So, the center will give direction such a way that the state government, the state legislative assembly passed money bills will have to be mandatorily reserved for the assent of the President of India, and the President can reject also. We know it very well. If a bill is reserved for the President of India, the President has the freedom not to pass it. It can suggest amendments and they have to, and the President has absolute veto in this. And also, the President may also give directions for the reduction of salaries and allowances of all the judges. The President can also, give directions for the reduction of salaries and allowances of the Supreme Court and the High Court judges and the functionaries of these courts, okay, all other employees of these courts. So, there can be direction to reduce the salaries and allowances and the facilities of the High Courts and the Supreme Courts. The President can direct to reduce the salaries and allowances of all the government employees, the state government employees, the central government employees, all of them, or all, even the defense forces also. And also the reduction or any money bill passed by any state legislature can be reserved or can give direction such a way that the President of India will assent it. So, all these effects can be there. That means that total financial control with the center, and the states will have no control whatsoever. So, the meaning is a total control by the center. The center will have absolute control and the states will have no control whatsoever. Now the point is, how is it done? After the proclamation, what are the conditions? Number one, any proclamation by the President has to be approved by both the houses of Parliament. Approved by both the houses of Parliament within 2 months. The first condition is it should be approved by both the houses of the Parliament, should be approved within 2 months. Number two, it has to be approved by a simple majority. It has to be approved by a simple majority. See, in fact, what has happened is this 2 months and simple majority, it was even for Article 352 as well as 356 also. Earlier, this was for 352, 356 and 360. For all the three, the provision was that it should be approved by both the houses of the Parliament within 2 months and with a simple majority. And this Article 360 will continue to be in force, till the President withdraws. Will continue to be in force till the President withdraws it. So, there is no provision, there is no 6 months clause in 360, no 6 months clause in 360. In 352 as well as in 356, we know this can be, the emergency can be imposed only for 6 months at a time. Only for 6 months at a time. But here it will continue to be enforced till the President withdraws it. No 6 months clause in this. And also, if the Lok Sabha is dissolved, or Lok Sabha got in between dissolved before it gave the approval within the 2 months, okay, if Lok Sabha is dissolved, then Rajya Sabha will approve, and the Lok Sabha will approve within 30 days Okay. The Lok Sabha will approve if a resolution has to be passed by the Council of States, if the proclamation or other, it should be expiry of within 30 days of the new House of the People, reconstituted and started sitting. Okay. So, we'll approve within 30 days of the new Lok Sabha started its first sitting. So, that means if the Lok Sabha is dissolved and they could not approve within 2 months, Rajya Sabha will approve, and this approval will wait for the new Lok Sabha to be constituted, and as and when the new Lok Sabha is constituted and when they go for the first sitting, within the first 30 days, within 30 days of the first sitting of the newly constituted Lok Sabha should approve. If they fail to approve, then the financial emergency will be withdrawn automatically. So, that means that the financial emergency, if the new Lok Sabha failed to approve within 30 days of its first sitting, if the new Lok Sabha failed to approve Article 360 within 30 days, not just within 30 days of the first sitting, if the new Lok Sabha failed to approve Article 360 within 30 days of the first sitting, then Article 360 will lapse. Then the proclamation of Article 360 will lapse. No need to do anything. A newly constituted Lok Sabha, when in the first sitting, within 30 days of the first sitting, if they fail to approve it, Article 360 will lapse automatically. And as I told you, once approved, it will be in force. It has to be approved by a simple majority. No mechanism to withdraw otherwise. The Lok Sabha cannot, unlike in Article 352. There is no mechanism for the legislature, the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha to withdraw. There is no mechanism. So, there is no mechanism to withdraw. The President of India can withdraw. There is no mechanism to withdraw by the Parliament. It is not for 6 months. Once it is imposed, it will continue as long as the President wants. Parliament cannot do anything. Parliament cannot call for the withdrawal of the financial emergency once it is approved by both the houses. And most importantly, Article 360 was never imposed in India till now, and let us pray that this 360 should not be imposed also. Why? Because finance, if money is not there, everything else we can adjust. Even if your freedom of speech is curtailed a bit, we may adjust. We are adjusting during the Modi era. So many things and so many institutions have been curtailed. People are adjusting. People are not complaining too much. But if there is no money in your pocket, if you have no money to spend, if you are not getting employment, if the farmers are not getting enough remuneration, and if they are struggling, if they are starving, that is it's a worse situation. Nobody will adjust. At that time, people will revolt. So, please understand that 360 was never been imposed. That's a good thing. Let us be happy. Let us be thankful to God that this financial emergency has never come to India, and it should not happen in our lifetime. That should be your prayer also. Because if there is no money, if there is no value for money, you hold a rupee or other a note in your pocket, and if that note has no value, it is the most disastrous thing it can happen to you. Very, very painful affair it will be. Let us hope it will not happen. So, this 360 was never imposed in India. 360 never imposed in India. That is number one. And number two, since it was never imposed, we don't know how it can be misused. The chance of misuse is not clear. So since it is never imposed, we don't know how can it be misused. Quite logical. And because it is never misused, no amendments to Article 360 till now. No amendments to Article 360 till now. See, we know 352 was imposed a couple of times, 360 has been imposed, 356 has been imposed hundreds of times. We know the misuse also, Supreme Court interfered, when constitutional amendments were made, 42nd Amendment Act, 44th Amendment Act, and we know the misuse. So, because of the misuse, many safeguards are incorporated. No safeguards incorporated in 360 because it has never used or misused, and it has never, no Supreme Court verdict on this, no safeguards imposed or incorporated, no safeguards incorporated till now. Why? Because it is never misused. No Supreme Court verdict, no court verdict on 360. No court verdicts on 360. So 360, and it is the way originally it was made, no amendments, okay, that is no amendments till now, no misuse, no use also, never imposed, and no court verdicts, no amendments. So let us hope it will not be implemented also, imposed also. Let us hope it will not be imposed in India, and it should not be. If it comes, it will be very, very painful to all of us. No money in your pocket, and if you are struggling and if you are hungry, that will not, that is something which which will be very, very painful to all of us. And let us hope, we will not be seeing that in our lifetime. So that is about Article 360. So it can be imposed by President of India if the financial stability is affected, if the credit of India is affected. Once imposed, it will be there till it is withdrawn by the President of India, and it has to be approved by both the houses of the Parliament with a simple majority within 2 months. So all very, very liberal provision, no safeguards introduced because it was never used or misused in our country. So that's about Article 360.